What's up everybody, my name's Trey and welcome to another video. Now it's been quite some time since I last gave you an update on the next stimulus check, or if you'll ever see one again. Now we don't necessarily have any new information when it comes to a stimulus check, but the House recently passed a new stimulus package that is basically going to give relief to the American population. This is in the form of a $3 trillion stimulus package that should help a lot of people out. Now, this is going to be voted on by the Senate, and, well, they already said that they're not going to pass this stimulus package. And that's because America is looking like it's going to open up extremely soon. And the Senate wants to take a wait-and-see approach to see how the American people are affected financially after this crisis is actually over. Now, the only problem with that is no one truly knows when the economy is going to be at 100% again. I mean, it could be at the end of this year or next year or in 5 years. I mean, no one really knows, as this is all just speculation. However, in the meantime, there's a brand new stimulus proposal that has a lot of buzz around it. And that's because it's not just your standard check that every American gets. It's actually a $450 bonus for everybody to go back to work. And in this video, I'll be going over everything that you need to know about this new stimulus proposal and how it could greatly affect your future. So make sure you watch this video to the end because I don't want you to miss out on any of this great information. But before we get into this video, if you are new to my channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to get notified every time I post a video. And with that being said, let's get into that brand new intro. Basically, this new stimulus proposal would be paying Americans an additional $450 every single week just to return to work. Now, this is extremely important to understand because what the government wants to do is bridge the gap between unemployment and people going back to work without completely disrupting their financial situations. And hence, we have this stimulus proposal. Now, I assume that there won't be a lot of pushback from the House nor the Senate because this is a lot less money than they are currently paying people who are on unemployment. I mean, if you look at unemployment right now, it's an additional $600 every single week on top of the state mandated unemployment that they're already getting. So the government would look to save a lot of money, and it would give a lot of incentive for people to go back to work. This is also extremely important because this additional $600 of unemployment that they're currently paying to people every single week is going to expire July 31st, which is really soon. So for the almost 35 million people who are currently unemployed, they essentially have 20 days to figure out how they're going to make money and provide for themselves. Now, if the House and the Senate can't come to an agreement, then they'll have to make more aggressive stimulus packages in the future. And that's because, well, not only did they miss their opportunity to try to get people to go back to work with a little bit of extra money in their pocket, but now they're going to have to deal with the large majority of people who are still unemployed and really need that additional $600 a week just to provide for themselves. Okay, so let's go over everything that we already know. I mean, the Senate basically passed the CARES Act, which was a $2 trillion stimulus package that was supposed to give relief to hospitals, states, corporations, and individuals to basically mitigate the financial burden of this actual crisis. One way that they did that for individuals was give them an extra $600 every single week on top of the state mandated unemployment that they were already getting. Now, I would say that this is completely reasonable because if businesses are forced to close and people are basically let go with no fault of their own, I mean, they're kind of entitled to get some money in order to actually take care of themselves because, well, no one could avoid this crisis and it was of no single person's actual doing. Well, unless you believe in conspiracy theories, and that's a whole different conversation entirely. But the $600 was also supposed to cover 100% of lost wages that employees would be getting if they were at work. However, this was supposed to be only temporary, as it's supposed to expire on July 31st, which leaves a huge question. What happens when the economy is still not open, unemployment benefits basically stop, and businesses are still closed, and a lot of people are still out of work? I mean, how are they supposed to make money and cover their expenses without this additional $600 coming in every single week? Now, that's something, folks, that we're really going to have to dive deep on. I think this is a very valid question, and one that we definitely need answered, because there are literally millions of Americans that without this additional $600 on top of unemployment every single week, they simply wouldn't be able to cover their expenses. Now, the question is, how do you incentivize people to go back to work who are making so much money by staying at home? And this is what researchers have been doing a ton of studies on. They've actually found that over 60% of people who are now on unemployment make more money just staying at home than they did at their actual job. Now, this was done semi-intentionally because obviously you wanted to incentivize people to stay home and not spread their germs or illnesses. This was also due to the fact that it would have been a logistical nightmare to tell people that their unemployment would have been capped at a percentage of how much they made at their job. So instead, they just gave everybody a baseline of an extra $600 a week because, well, some people get less, some people get more, but it's a very basic understanding of how much money you actually need to cover the expenses that you already have. Now, the concern is with so many people making much more money just being at home than they would be at work, how do you actually get these people to get up, get off unemployment, and now enter back into the workplace? Because if you're the government or an employer, how can you ask somebody to go back to work for less money than they make sleeping all day? That's what the major concern here is, people. So if you're at home making money on unemployment, you might want to start looking for a different way to make some income because, like I said, these benefits will end July 31st. So you don't have a lot of time to find other ways to bring an income into your household. Now, at the same time, you really can't ask people to get off unemployment and go straight into the workforce because then there would be no bridge to make sure that their financial situation was in good standing. Now, this, my friends, is exactly where this stimulus proposal comes into place. Basically, it would be giving people an additional $450 every single week on top of the wages that they receive from their employer. Now, why $450, you might ask? Well, researchers basically concluded that this is the amount of money that somebody that's making minimum wage would need to make it a better option to go to work than to stay on unemployment. The benefits are the fact that this would be giving employees more spending money every single week, and it wouldn't be coming out of the profits of the actual business or the employer that they work for. Therefore, it would stimulate more money into the economy, which means, in speculation, that this would increase the chance that our economy reaches 100% a lot quicker while decreasing the unemployment rate nationwide. Now, when you look at these benefits, it's really great for somebody that's currently on unemployment who's going to be transferring back into the workplace soon. Because, I mean, they're going to get an extra $450 every single week on top of what they make at their actual job just by going to work. But I would argue that people that need this money the most won't be seeing any of it. Like people who lost their jobs due to this crisis and whose jobs are gone forever. I mean, it's speculated that almost 50% of jobs that are gone because of this crisis will never come back. Not only that, but some professions have been working the entire time through this crisis, like teachers and nurses. Now, sure, their work looks a little bit different now because a lot of them have been working at home and doing everything online. But I mean, they're still working and they should definitely get compensated for that. Now, this stimulus proposal tried to address the group of people in which it thought really needed it the most, and that's the people who lost their jobs and whose jobs are never coming back. And the way that they're doing this is by spending a portion of the stimulus package on infrastructure. This basically allows the government to build parks, bridges, roads, and create millions of jobs for Americans. This allows not only the government to get these people back to work, but also allows the government to tax these people and stimulate more money into the economy, which is really nice. But I think we're really doing a disservice to nurses and teachers because, like I said, they've been working this whole time and they're not seeing any bonuses or additional money coming into their bank account every single week. So I think we should all start a proposal. Let's get nurses and teachers paid a little bit more money, because I think after this crisis, we can definitely see how important these jobs are for our actual economy. Whether you're getting hurt or you need somebody to teach and essentially raise your child for the first couple years of their life. I mean, these occupations are extremely important and they should definitely be compensated for that. Now, instead of just completely stopping this additional $600 on top of unemployment that most people are getting on July 31st, I feel that we should phase out this for the rest of the year. And that will allow people to search for their dream career or dream job, working for a great company, one that they're truly gonna love going to every single day. I feel like if we completely stop it on July 1st, people are essentially going to be panicking on how they're going to be making money, causing even more chaos than there already is. So if you learned anything new in this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up because it really helps share this to other people that might find it interesting. And I mean, look people, I'm just trying to grow a little bit, spread this knowledge I got up in my dome because I feel like this is really some important information that somebody needs to hear. And if you are somebody that's new to my channel, basically I go over how you can make money online, diversify your income, and financial news that I feel like is important for you to know. So if that's something that interests you, make sure you hit the subscribe button and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.